you have to win it without us. That's what Christopher Smith told Kirby Smart while they were on the stage celebrating the victory over Texas Christian. Uh, a lot of admiration from the Dog Post crew with for Christopher Smith. Of course, we met him when he was at Hateville, and he just continued to grind out. He was a great example of work development. His his tenure at Georgia, going from a guy that, was not a five-star prospect. He was not a can't miss player to being an All-American as a senior just shows how big a deal that Chris Smith is. I think building your program around Christopher Smith, Stetson Bennett, guys like that, it matters a lot. I mean, the captains on this team for Georgia have been exceptional leaders, players. It's hard to be a really good leader if you're not a really good player. And the guys that they've had leading the way this past year have been significant. But Christopher Smith essentially issuing a challenge to Kirby Smart, saying, "Y'all have got to win it next year," and it's not out of the question. It's not out of the question at all for Georgia to three-peat as national champions because of what's been built inside of the program, the ethos that's surrounding, the university right now, how important football is. It's always been very important, but I don't think it was. I think it took Kirby in a way to redefine what was needed to win. I think Georgia's always been interested in winning. I just don't know if the institution needed a roadmap to get from point A to point B because they were getting stuck very close to point B and couldn't quite get over the top. And I think had Mark Richt come a little bit earlier, say in the '90s, he would have won his national championship or two. I'll tell you that. That's my belief. Because he narrowly lost one. He narrowly got it in a few times when he was at Georgia, but everything changed, and that's the other thing. That's what could change for Kirby and them in the coming weeks, months, years. Is change will occur. This isn't going to be a 14 playoff anymore. You're going to have to build your program in a different way. And in many ways, players like Christopher Smith are going to be so much more important because it won't just be that you're waiting for them to develop into their junior and senior seasons or sophomore. I mean, Christopher started really playing as a sophomore. It's going to be how deep can you be with players who are freshmen, because the season is going to go from 15 games to more like 17, and that is a lot. Speaking of a lot, if you do not order double dogs by Sunday at 11:59, you will not get confetti. So I've gone through all of it. We're at where we're at. If you order it now, you will get some confetti. You won't get, you'll get your pieces, and it is often, it is legitimate confetti. I mean, your pile may be, I'll mix it up some. Your pile may be this. I don't know what everybody will get, but they will get it if they order before 11:59 Sunday night. If you don't do it before then, I just it's not going to happen. It's not that I'm not making guarantees. It's not going to happen. So that is the cutoff. That is the deadline. That is January 29th at 11:59 p.m. And you're not going to want to miss out on the book, whether you get the confetti or not. It is an outstanding story. I finished the LSU stuff today. It is an outstanding story of Georgia's 2022 season. You're not going to want. It's quite clearly a collector's edition. We don't. This is not the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. This is not the Athens Banner-Herald. We're not just regurgitating stories from game days. This is a behind-the-scenes look, stuff you're not going to read or see anywhere else. Do not miss out on it. And when I was writing the LSU story today, I was, I remember what Christopher. We imagery is really important at Dog Post. We put a lot of emphasis on imagery. There are a lot better photographers out there than we are, but I think we shoot games in a different way, and you can see from all of the angles we've got, there's 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 some moments there where Christopher's looking at that ball that's been blocked by Nazir Stackhouse on the ground, and he's like, "Man, should I pick this ball up or not?" And I can see it from Ryan Curley's images. It's almost as if it's a split screen. On one side, you have all of the red and the ball. On the other side, you have all of the white and yellow, which is LSU, of course, and only one player from LSU is looking at Georgia. Everybody else is dejected, starting to look towards the sideline. They're not thinking at all. They're not considering what could happen. And Christopher's just like over the ball, waiting for LSU players to take a step or two more the other way. And number 66 it is for LSU is a true freshman or a freshman, whatever he is. He's looking and he's saying, he's thinking to himself, this is going to be a problem. And it was. So Christopher picks it up. Half the Georgia players don't realize what's going on. Jalen Carter and Nazir are just celebrating, and understandably so. Nazir has blocked the kick, and there's no like someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think so. There's no like individual block. Like you got to work as a tandem to block these kicks. There are plans. And that's actually one thing we talk about in Double Dogs. We talk to every single guy who was on the field for the Ohio State block. And let me see if I can get this on the screen. I don't know if I can. We talk to everybody who is on the field for the block against Ohio, the missed kick against Ohio. So let me see if this works. It does. We talk to everybody who's on the field. You can see all 22 players are in this image. Okay. Now, listen, if you're on YouTube or Facebook and you're trying to jack this image, there's only one of these. I will copyright your ass. I will do that. Do not take this image and act like it's yours. You do not have permission, period. The end. You do not have permission. Don't ask me for it. You don't. Anyway, so if I see it, I'm turning your ass in. Now, just gonna let you know that right now. We take this stuff serious. Look at Keeley trying to block that kick. Anyway, I don't think Christopher's out here on this play. Is he? He is not. Yeah, no, there he is. Excuse me. He's you can't see. Oh no, you can. So there's Christopher right there, right? Smile Munden. Everybody's trying to try to shove their way through. Anyway, we talked to these guys about their experience on that play. You're gonna make sure you do not miss out on Double Dogs. This is not going to be something that's printed online and all that stuff. No, get it now. Get yourself your confetti, whatever. But I'm telling you, forget the confetti. You want the book. You're not going to get this story anywhere else. You know why? I know we were the only people that talked to all those guys. I sat there and watched. And they're not making these guys available again. So, Christopher Smith, he's gone. Nazir, good luck. You're just not going to talk to Darius Smith. It's going to take years. So this is the only way you're going to get this story. Hey, for a limited time, speaking of which, our listeners can get 50% off a $20 value, $0 in delivery fees when you download the DoorDash app. Okay, say that 3 times quickly. But when you're doing that, enter the code DAWG, just like dog post, DAWG. That's 50% off a $20 value, $0 in delivery fee. So you're just at home, kicking it in suburban Atlanta. Let's just say you live midtown in Atlanta. DoorDash is all through there, y'all. So just pick it up, download the app. The code is DAWG for 50% off a $20 value, $0 in delivery fees with DoorDash, subject to change, and terms apply. Do not miss out on these deals. We're not going to be doing this sort of stuff forever, so that's a pretty good deal, particularly if you don't have dinner figured out tonight. I do, but it all revolves around all this stuff. And back to Christopher talking to Kirby. That carries weight in my view. I mean, Christopher Smith's not just some guy. Forget the All-American part. Just consider the growth and the progress that Christopher Smith made in his time at Georgia. If everybody at Georgia made that kind of progress, and this is not hyperbole, if everybody made that kind of progress at Georgia in a 4 to 5 year period, they would literally never lose. So it doesn't happen all the time. But Christopher's a great example of taking advantage of your situation, your God-given abilities, your talent, and honestly, your intellect. Christopher did not let things slide. He did the little work every single day. If you do not get double dogs by midnight on Sunday night, you're going to miss out on the confetti.